Opening your mail to find out your entire medical history is sitting on the dark web brings a very specific type of dread. Every scan, every radiologist note, your most private health records exposed to unknown actors. The responsible company sends a digital coupon for 12 months of credit monitoring in return for this gross violation of your physical privacy. Mount Baker Imaging and Northwest Radiologists just agreed to a $3.3 million class action settlement for a data breach covering a 5-day window in January 2025.
The $3.3 million figure functions purely as a corporate shield designed for press releases. The actual mechanics of the payout reveal a system engineered to discourage participation. Settlement documents state victims can receive up to $5,000 for out-of-pocket losses. Claiming a single cent of that money requires the victim to produce extensive documentation of their suffering.
Reading that $5,000 maximum makes you think you might actually get compensated for the stress, but then you hit the requirements. The corporate entity failed to secure their servers, leaving the victim to assume the entire burden of proof. You spend hours digging up old bank statements, highlighting unreimbursed fraud losses, and calculating the exact mileage driven to the bank to sort out the mess they created. Going through this claims process feels like getting pickpocketed and then having to present an itemized receipt to the thief to get your wallet back. You do the heavy lifting to prove you deserve a fraction of a payout from the company that failed you.
Threat actors abandon the model of stealing data for future sale.
Hold on, are they just dumping it online immediately?
They extort the company directly by holding the patients hostage. The iRhythm hack demonstrates this active extortion model perfectly. iRhythm manufactures the Zio wearable ECG monitor. This medical device straps directly to a person's chest to track their heart activity 24 hours a day. According to their recent SEC filing, the company detected unauthorized activity on June 8th. By June 9th, the hackers demanded a ransom to stop the public release of proprietary company data and protected patient health information.
The monitor is physically stuck to the patient's chest. Bypassing a piece of plastic and a battery from halfway across the world seems, impossible.
They bypassed the medical hardware entirely. The physical ECG monitor operates securely on the patient. The vulnerable entry point sits inside the administrative cloud servers processing that uploaded heart data. Medical devices transmit physiological telemetry to corporate databases so doctors can read the results. Hackers target those back-end databases.
They turn an administrative vulnerability into a ticking time bomb. Mount Baker Imaging deals with the fallout of a past breach settling in court years later. The iRhythm situation operates as an active countdown clock. Criminals possess intimate physiological data gathered by a medical device and threaten to weaponize it unless a corporation wires them funds. You can cancel a stolen credit card or freeze your credit report. Changing your past radiology scans is impossible.
Hackers exploit the digital doggy doors of third-party vendors. The heavily fortified front doors of corporate networks require too much effort to crack. The iRhythm SEC filing explicitly noted the unauthorized activity involved third-party hosted business applications and social engineering. Corporate data security relies entirely on a fractured ecosystem of external service providers.
Social engineering just means they tricked an employee into handing over a password. No advanced coding required.
Criminals call the IT help desk, pretending to be an executive who lost their login credentials. They gain access to the vendor system through basic manipulation.
You buy a titanium vault for your most valuable possessions, install biometric scanners, and hire armed guards. Then you write the master combination on a greasy Post-it note and staple it to a takeout menu hanging on the back porch. Companies spend millions fortifying their internal networks while handing administrative access to mundane software vendors running their daily operations. The recent Nintendo data breach exposes the exact same architectural flaw.
A hacker going by the name Shadow BYT33 stole 859 megabytes of Nintendo employee data. They bypassed Nintendo's legendary internal security perimeter by targeting a service called TinyPulse.
TinyPulse sounds like a fitness tracker.
TinyPulse operates as a third-party service used for internal employee surveys. A corporation hires them to send out digital questionnaires asking staff about workplace satisfaction. Nintendo's corporate PR response claims the affected data is limited to internal survey content comprising a small subset of our employees. They emphasize that Nintendo's own internal systems remain uncompromised.
The phrase internal survey content sounds incredibly harmless until you read the actual data stolen. The breach exposed employee names, employee identification numbers, internal reports, behavioral analytics, and bank statements. A cafeteria survey app having access to an employee's bank statements makes zero sense.
Survey applications plug directly into an organization's overarching human resources software via API connections. They need this digital bridge to know which employees to email and to track completion rates. Lazy permission settings mean the survey app receives a pipeline into the entire HR database, including payroll details. The third-party vendor requests broad access during setup, and the corporate IT department grants it to save time.
You fill out a workplace survey thinking you are helping improve office culture, and your bank statements end up on the dark web. Nintendo, downplaying this as a small subset of data, ignores the permanent vulnerability created for the individuals exposed.
Corporate PR departments separate the identity of the third-party vendor from the identity of the parent company to deflect responsibility. The failure of Tiny Pulse becomes a vendor management issue to Nintendo. The technical distinction remains completely irrelevant to the victims whose financial data leaked. The shared vulnerability connecting Washington State radiology patients, iRhythm heart monitor users, and Nintendo employees stems from mundane administrative software purchased to lower operational costs.
We expect regular patients and office workers to fall victim to these sprawling third-party traps. You assume the elite architects of the technology world operate with impenetrable operational security. The people funding the security startups and shaping global data policy leave the door wide open.
Peter Thiel and Orrin Hoffman created an ultra-secret network called Dialog 20 years ago. The organization functions as an invitation-only group for elites in business, academia, and politics. Media outlets frequently compared Dialog to the Bilderberg Group due to its extreme secrecy and high-profile guest list. Dialog operated for 2 decades without a public-facing website and never publicly identified its participants.
A Swiss security researcher named Mia Arsen-Kraimu recently found exposed website code blowing the doors off that secrecy. The leak revealed 113 high-profile names connected to the Dialog network. The list includes Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, Senator Ted Cruz, former Xbox President Sarah Bond, and actor Josh Brolin. This gathering of billionaires and lawmakers demands absolute discretion.
The leaked Dialog participant profiles expose the humiliatingly mundane details required to attend these elite gatherings. The data included personal email addresses, mobile phone numbers, and direct contact information for their administrative assistants. The intake form contained dietary restrictions, book recommendations, predictions for the year 2031, fun facts, and a specific checkbox indicating whether the attendee is looking for love at the event.
The macro concept of a shadow network of global elites shaping the future of human society crashes into the micro-reality of billionaires listing their peanut allergies and checking a box to find a date. The intake form demanded highly sensitive ideological information, including a political leaning section with a slider from far left to far right. The form included a prominent disclaimer next to this section promising the answers will not be shared in the app or with other participants ever. The arrogance of demanding this level of personal data while failing to secure the website hosting it is breathtaking. They promise absolute privacy while storing the database on a publicly accessible server configuration.
The itinerary for their upcoming August event in Dublin, Ireland, amplifies the irony of the data breach. The leak schedule includes sessions titled Bring Back Nuclear and Build a Cult. The billionaire class organized a specific session dedicated to disinformation and deepfakes to discuss the dangers of the modern digital landscape.
They sit in a room in Dublin, having a high-level panel on the dangers of the digital landscape, while their personal cell phone numbers and romantic availability float around the internet for anyone to download.
Washington State radiology patients battle claims administrators for a fractional reimbursement. Zio heart monitor users become unwitting pawns in corporate extortion plots. Nintendo employees watch their bank statements leak through a cafeteria survey app. Billionaires organize secret club meetings in Ireland only to have their romantic availability broadcast to the world. The vulnerability cuts blindly through every socio-economic layer.
Peter Thiel co-founded Palantir, one of the most powerful data mining and surveillance companies on the planet.
A man who built his fortune on mass data collection and analysis cannot keep his own secret society's looking for love status off the public internet. The average person wearing a heart monitor has zero chance.
Stay safe out there.